how do you create default WordPress menus? How and why should you use custom links? How do you create submenus? And how do you add a different background to just one button? All that coming up. The first thing is just to know where the default menus are. And so in your back dashboard here, under appearance, you're going to have menus. And so it's important to know that there are other ways to add menus. So Elementor has menus, there's Crocoblock has menus, a lot of the Elementor plugins have menus. This is just going to discuss basic WordPress menus. It's where I make most all of mine. There's a lot of other add-ons and things you can do to this. So the first thing I think to know is that you can actually add multiple menus. So you can have like a menu in your footer, a menu in your header. You can have side menus. You can have lots of different areas where there's menus, and this allows you to control the links that are going to be in there. So at the very top here, you've got select a menu. And so we can see here, there's two different menus. Once you select one that you want to work on, you just hit select and that menu will show up. So if I want to look at the other menu, it looks pretty similar, but could be slightly different here. So for this purpose, what I'll do is actually create a new menu. So you can actually come up here and create a new menu. Once that comes up, you can give it a name. We're just going to call this one test menu. And when it comes to the menu settings here, you're typically going to have default control over all of these. So I don't like to check really any of them. This one in particular, you want to watch out for the automatically add new top level pages to this menu. If this is checked, anytime you add a new page, I'm going to put it in that menu. So you can inadvertently mess up your top menu. So I personally leave all of these unchecked, and then we'll just hit create menu. And this is going to give us a blank canvas basically to work with. Just hit save. Okay. And now it's waiting for menu items. So creating menu items, easy to assume you just want to click these over here. If you do add these, we can just click a few, click add to menu, and those are going to pop these items in as your menu items. I personally don't like to do it this way. What this is doing is adding a default menu directly to this page. I personally like to only and always create custom links instead. So rather than doing this, and if you want to delete an item, you can just hit remove and those will go away. And instead, what I do for all of mine is I'll actually go to the custom link section here. And then this is going to have two options. It's going to have the place you want it to go to and what you want to call it. And so the advantage of custom links is that you have more control over the link and you can determine anywhere in the world you want it to go. It doesn't have to be one of your pages, doesn't have to be the top level page, and you can create the text that you want it to say. So let's say we had a page called become a member, and instead of it being become a member, because that maybe is too long, you want it to just say membership. So if you've got the text link, you could just write the word membership. And if you know what page this goes to, every page on a WordPress website, you could put the entire link, or you can actually just start after the www.com or .net, .co, whatever it is, and then the / after that. So I could say / membership. And maybe this page's title is actually become a member today, become a member for 2025. If we just link to that page, it's going to have that big long name in there. Maybe I want to have some more control over that. So just typing the name that I want and the page I want it to go to, I can then click add menu, and that puts that here. Another advantage to customizing the link, once this is here, I can just come in and edit it. But let's say I don't have a membership page. Let's say I have a membership section that's on my contact page. And so maybe I have a anchored tag, which will drop someone down to that section. That's the membership section of the contact page. So maybe this page is actually contact, but I want them to go to a section that I've called membership. I can add an anchor tag if I've set this up, so that when it goes to the contact page, it'll then see membership and it'll scroll down the page and stop at membership. So this is really powerful that it gives you the option to link to parts of a page rather than just the page itself. Another thing that's great about using custom links is oftentimes you'll want to have a sub menu. So if you want a sub menu, that's when you'll get something where if you want to hover over the top of it, you've got these sub menu items. So the way you can do that is, again, you'll just create another menu item. So if we did like about, if that was the address for our about page, you could say about us. You can add that menu item in, and then you can actually just click this with your mouse and drag it wherever you want. So I move it in a little bit. Now it's a submenu of that. So if I hover over this, it's going to show this one. And another advantage is, this is a personal preference, but it's fairly common standard that the top level item, if it's got submenu items underneath it, you wouldn't want to make that one a link. So if I have membership as my heading category, maybe I want become a member down here, or sign up, anything I wanted. So let's say I wanted to sign up. A page that says sign up, and I could say sign up, add the menu item. I want it underneath this one, but I don't want this actually clickable. So if this is a custom link, the way you can make a menu item that's not clickable is you'll change the URL to just a hashtag. So that's going to be, it's not a link, doesn't go anywhere, but that's going to give you the ability to have a menu item you can hover over and these two will appear. So let's say I've got a bunch of menu items and I want to change maybe the order of them. So I can go, let's look at one of our other menus. It's got some more stuff in it. So I'll select that menu. And so maybe I want my contact to be at the top. All you have to do is click this. Again, you can move it inside. So you can have a menu with a submenu with a submenu, or you can just drag it up here. This is going to reorder the menu section. I'm going to go and put that one back. Let's look at one more thing I want to show you. This is not normally turned on when you have a default WordPress environment, but when you're in the menu section and you go up here to screen options, this is going to give you an option here to select CSS classes. And what that does is gives you the ability to add a class to one of your buttons. If that's not checked, and I go down here, let's say I'm looking at sponsors, I don't see anywhere I can add CSS to this. But if I do click that and I go back down, now I've got this extra field that says classes. What this allows me to do is to give it specific instructions. So if I want to make this say Casey menu highlight. Now what that'll let me do is I can then call that class and I can say this button, the one that has Casey menu highlight on it, I want to make it bigger. I want to have a red background. This is really good if you have something like buy now, contact us, order here. And you want to use that in your regular menu items, but you want to be able to have one menu item that looks different than all your other menu items. So one more option here in screen options. This comes in handy if you ever want to send someone to another page. So anytime you go off of your website, you want them to open up into a new window so that your website is still open. So you have the option of opening into a new window or opening in the existing window. So if you're going to a different site, you want to open in a new window. So what we want to do, this also is not usually checked on. You want to check the link target. And link target gives you the ability to tell it where to open up. So in this one, for instance, we are going offsite to the store. Here we used a custom link. This allowed us to go offsite to a different store. And now we've got this checkbox option here where we can say open link in a new tab. So that means when they click this, instead of just the window changing, it's actually going to open a new tab, and now the store is in a new window. So if you have any questions about this menu, any other menu, any other questions, feel free to reach out. Casey at CW Dynamic. Thanks a lot.